Attention carriers, brokers, and dispatchers. You're tuned into the E-Carrier Check channel, where we bring you the insider tips, tricks, and insights to drive your sales and logistics business to new heights. Each week, your hosts, Jared and Nate, sit down with the top professionals in the industry, diving deep into everything from prospecting and cold calling to maintaining carrier relationships and maximizing your bottom line. Learn real-world strategies, hear success stories, and get actionable advice you can implement in your business today. So buckle up and get ready for an entertaining and informative ride. This is the E-Carrier Check channel, your source for can't-miss logistics intelligence. Stay tuned.
Hello, good morning, and welcome back to the E-Carrier Check show. Our first show of 2025.
This is it.
How is everyone doing today? I hope you guys all had a good New Year's, a good holiday season. It went by really quick. We're back to the grind this week, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Is it the first full week? Honestly, our ultimate goal with the show, we talk a lot about these shows. And just saying, hey, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What's our goal? And we're trying to give you the best 30 minutes of your day, not only by educating you, but giving you some thoughts on business strategy, sales strategy. Today we're talking about networking, and this is one of my favorite things to talk about. And hopefully today you pick up on a few things that will get you a little bit uncomfortable, but possibly grow you in the way you network.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I think we start off the show with, well, good morning to everyone. We friggin' love all of you. We do. You guys are our favorites.
Yeah.
We talk about you guys all the time. What's up? It's good to have you on.
DIY, what's up, Jerome, Freight Master, T. Landy.
On. Jerome, this
Hey,
is
Bella.
the year. Jerome, you are going to get an inspection this year.
This is going to be your year, bro.
You're our best 5-year no inspection carrier that we know.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it out there. But today we're talking about networking your way to success. We're also just talking about different things you should be doing, from soft skills and networking to where you should be networking. I would love to know, just throw it in the notes, what, if you look back at last year, where did you network the best? What was it, something that you remember when you look back and go, man, that was really fruitful, or that changed my life? So throw it in the notes where you guys network. For you drivers that are on here, if anyone's on, I don't know if Chief Freight Hauler's on or Tire Killer. For you drivers watching, where do you guys network? Is there networking opportunities at the gas stations, at the fuel stops? I don't know. I've heard some crazy stories about different fuel stops and things like that. So, but let's kick it off, man. Like, you and I network a lot. We talk to a lot of people. Why are we networking? What's the point of this, man? Like, what are we doing?
There's just,
other than we love people.
Yeah. Besides that,
Why are we networking?
Honestly, from my point of view, I think when it comes to networking, there's always more to learn. I don't care what industry you're in. There's always something new that happens. So, and then not even that. I think it's important to just, the point of networking is seeing it from someone else's point of view.
Yeah.
Just getting some feedback.
Yeah. I think that as you go out and you just, hopefully you have those kind of that ability or that thought process of, okay, I'm going to be a lifelong learner, and the only way I can do this is by exposing myself to new relationships or new industries or new conversations.
Right. And I love this question. Like Jerome, I think it was a question, but I think I've been approved for hauling hazmat, but I have a question about they're only covering 10%.
You might have to give us. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. Are we frozen or I don't know?
No, I just paused it on the screen. We're good. We're still live.
I would be curious. Give us a little more on that. I love that you're going down that road of trying to become hazmat. Not a lot of carriers are. A lot more carriers are going out in the hazmat space than actually coming in. I love where you're heading with this, Jerome. We have another TV over here that shows us the comments and things like that. So if
That's
you're
why I
looking
look
over
that
here,
way.
you're like, what the hell are you doing?
We're not looking out the window.
But like, give us a rundown. Like, what was your favorite networking event that you went to last year?
Last year, oh my goodness.
And I can give you a few while you're thinking if you need.
Yeah, no, I went to a couple. The one that's kind of, I mean, I obviously loved TIA when I went to that a couple years ago.
Yeah, that was
I don't think
incredible.
anything tops that.
Right.
I don't know, honestly. It's probably just going to be TIA.
Yeah.
And that was just big for me. If anyone's out there is kind of like me, that's kind of anxious, this helped me kind of be different, step out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I loved it because everyone there was willing to talk, willing to network, willing to share what they do and how they do it.
Yeah.
And they're open to me asking questions.
Which I love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get that. I think your biggest bang for your buck is a conference. Going out and actually hitting a conference, I think is huge. The ATA is coming up,
Yep.
which is like humongous. It would be friggin' awesome to go to that one. I don't know if we're on the docket for that. TIA, like you mentioned, Transportation Intermediate Association. The Truckload Association. There's a big one out in out in Las Vegas that they have. That Manifest. Manifest is coming up. I think next month, beginning of next month. And so I think for the biggest bang of your buck. Now that costs a lot of money, right? To go to those conferences, to travel, to get hotels and meals and all those things. There's some cost to that, right? But we have some of the most incredible relationships that we've built from going to some of those conferences,
right.
And showing our face and saying hi and enjoying meeting all of you in some particular cases. Jonas, good morning. It's good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
Jerome, keep us posted on this this hazmat. I'd love to know more about what you're cooking there because I'm a big believer.
I emailed my insurance company to see what 10% means, so I have to get back with you on that. Yeah, get back to us, brother.
Yeah, keep us posted. We have to have a call, man. Just hit us up. Hit us up. Outside of conferences, though, what are you seeing for networking opportunities? Because it can be overwhelming. You get on LinkedIn and you're like, do I have to comment? Do I not? Do I have to post? Should I just comment on other people's things? If I get on YouTube, should I comment in the comments? Socially, let's talk about social networking for a moment. Where are you socially networking? What do you see as a benefit, whether it's, niche communities, things like that? Talk through us with the social aspect.
Yeah, I like the niche communities, especially when you go to Facebook, man. They have so many groups, hotshot groups, reefer group, you name it, right?
Yeah.
Owner-operator groups.
Yep.
So I right now, that's my favorite because you can go on there. There's so many good questions being asked and people helping each other out, which I love.
I do too.
Still a big fan of LinkedIn because you start seeing people's posts that bring value, especially to me. And I want to know a little bit more, so I always, like to DM them, maybe try to get them on the show and provide some value.
Yeah.
A lot of the people we networked have actually been on the show, so I love that.
I do too.
The more we get to network, the more we can bring you guys some content.
Yeah. Even like for Jerome, I'm sure there's a hazmat group out there. But obviously there's several different social sites. LinkedIn is probably one of the bigger ones and continuing to grow. Although LinkedIn is starting to get a little more personal. Yeah. I do like YouTube. I'm a huge fan of YouTube. There's some incredible shows out there, obviously outside of ours, but there's some content there. Facebook is good for those groups. If you want to talk about the little kind of devil in the details, Reddit is always entertaining. There's a freight broker group on Reddit that is just, it's glorious.
I'm in it. Yeah.
It is meat and potatoes. You want to laugh and you want to learn, sign me up.
Is there such a thing as over networking? Because God damn it, it can keep up. It can even keep up anymore.
Yeah,
I can't even keep up. Yeah.
I totally agree. I think you have to pick one or the other. Yeah. I don't think you have to comment on everything. I know the world feels like it's moving that fast, but it really is. You know what I mean? And the DIY, I think this is such a great friggin'. In my mind, this is one of the better ones to be asking. Is there a way of over networking? Absolutely. I've met a couple guys where they have gone from conference to conference to conference to conference. and I'm like, did you actually get anything done at your job, or how does
Right.
how's this work?
Yeah.
You know, what do you do? Who's paying you? So I think you can over network. I fully do believe that you can over network. And so I think when it comes to the social networking side of things, pick one or two platforms and just stay with that.
Right.
Don't feel like you need to peruse on all of them.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you, and honestly too, if you are anxious about reaching out to people, just do it. There's no dumb question.
Right.
So if you see someone bringing some value in a group, DM them.
Yeah.
Ask for some time, 15, 20 minutes, catch up via Zoom.
Yeah.
You'll learn quickly if you can, gain some value or some insights from that person. Hopefully you guys can collaborate throughout the year, but yeah.
One of my favorite things, I would say, if you can DIY, I would prioritize. Like, think about it this way, and this is for anybody really. When it comes to your networking, how much of it is done online versus how much is done in person?
Ooh.
Right? What are your percentages? And I'm not saying that you need to be on one end or the other, but here's what I would do if I lived in a bigger city. We live in the middle of nowhere. We just got our first McDonald's. I'm just kidding.
We just got our first Buffalo Wild Wings.
We did get our first, and it's not even a regular Buffalo
It's a
Wild.
go.
I can't even friggin' get a beer there.
It's upsetting.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. But what I would do if I lived in a bigger city, especially anyone that's in a city that has a transportation club, go join it. That has a steel manufacturing club, go join it. That has some sort of club or group that meets once a month. And I'm not talking like Elks or the Freemasons or anything like that. I'm talking about like an actual industry-specific club that meets once a month, and they get together and they probably drink too much, or they probably smoke too much, or whatever they do, But go and just meet some people there. That's what I'm a huge fan of this year. I think those groups will continue to grow. It's really hard, and I think this is to Adam's point. I really think it's hard to actually start differentiating yourself between AI and human. And for me, then I start to lean toward the human aspect of things.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I want to be more. I want to find more people that I can connect with.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I almost want to have that conversation like I'm at the bar with you having a Miller Lite and just talking, right? That's where I like to get to when I network. It's like, let's kind of be vulnerable. What are your goals? I want to know your goals and here are my goals. How can we align together?
Yeah.
And, can I reach out to you 6 months from now and ask you some questions, right? I love that kind of networking. What's up, Nick?
So actually, networking has been the crux of my business this
Yeah.
year. Networking isn't about connecting or following. It's about real interactions where we teach, learn, create meaningful impact. Boom! I friggin' love that. I'm going to butcher your name. Yenzi? Love that. Love that. Morning, Tire Killer, what is up? We released a friggin' short with Tire Killer. This guy's the man.
I
He's
love Tire
famous.
Killer.
He's famous. Tire Killer, I asked a question before you were, you just happened to show up. You're 15 minutes late to class, damn it. But do you network at the fuel stops? When you go park your truck, are you out talking to people, or are you just sitting in your truck? So Nick says networking is about building relationships. It takes time. Look to give value during those interactions.
For sure.
I think this is a good lead in too. Is Nate, we talk a lot about soft skills, and there's the basic hard skills, right? How to sell something, how to broker, how to drive a truck. We've got some incredible Jeff Dickinson. What's going
up,
on?
Jeff?
It's good to have you in. This guy's incredible at networking, by the way. Although I got to give it up for this guy. Kudos to Jeff. If you don't follow Jeff on LinkedIn, this cat just helped raise $15,000 for the North Carolina project. I friggin' love that about you. He's always just giving back.
Yeah.
You want to talk about somebody that's giving. This is the guy. So Jeff, congratulations on that.
Yeah, man. Love you, man. Good job.
But some of the soft skills that are required for networking, I don't think people are thinking about. And if you're sitting there writing your goals out, are you going, God, this is the year I work on my soft skills, right? And Nick has got to be. He's going to write a whole book about soft skills in trucking, because we all need to find them.
Yeah.
We all need to find them. But give me a rundown. What soft skills are you thinking of? How do we What do we implement, or what does it take? Nick said you've got to be in that give value during those interactions. What are your soft skills? What are those things that really stand out that you go, I got to be better at this while I'm networking?
Asking why. Why. I think, if you don't understand something, a lot of people just kind of shake their head. I think you have to have that skill of asking why and like being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know that, that solution or that answer.
Yeah.
I think just asking the word why. Of course, fuel stops, chrome stops, going down the road on the CB, even Sam's once.
We need to do a show on CB.
If it is your career, you're never selling, you're just sharing your personal story. We talked about that, having more stories.
If your freight is your career, you're not never selling, you're just sharing a personal story. I love that. Alex, that is such a good that is so good. I love that.
Finding balance, personal life, health, and it's your drive to excel.
If I run into Tire Killer at Sam's Club, he and I are going to smash a whole pizza. I might even get hot dogs. And so does pizza on me if we catch up at Sam's Club. I'm just saying that. I definitely think when it comes to soft skills, being curious, asking why. The way my kids think is very, very interesting because they have that innocence of, well, why do we do that? What's the point of that? You know what I mean? My son, who unfortunately learns, I'm going to say unfortunately, because he learns like me, right? The kid struggles with learning. Sometimes somebody can ask you a question and you literally don't know how to answer it. And I remember my dad actually asking me a question one time when I was growing up, and I literally couldn't answer. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what you're asking me, right? And so sometimes communication and asking those vulnerable questions, why are we doing that, or exposing even some of those learning deficiencies. Hey, I can't read this backwards and forwards or things like that. You know what? Showing vulnerabilities, I think, is wildly important this year in networking because it allows people to see the real you, the genuineness of who you are. Right? You know what I mean? I saw a quote this morning, and I thought this was incredible. But it said, the greatest form of self-love is discipline, right? And it's like, okay, well, even when you're showing that vulnerability, although I get up and walk a lot, I'm not the most disciplined guy. I need to be more disciplined, right? And so some of those soft skills, being vulnerable, being curious, last but certainly not least, is being present and active listening.
Yes.
We are
super
attached to this hot whip. We're sitting here just, what's on Facebook? I got to scroll. I got to get on TikTok. I got an issue with that. But having that is something that I think is really important. Let's get back to the comments. Good morning, everyone, bro.
What's up, Chief?
That is my superpower. Oh, I love the Reddit. Yeah, Reddit is
is insane.
Whew, vulnerability is my superpower, and ego is my kryptonite. Yeah, that's the truth right there. Chief Freight Hauler, what's up? We got another hazmat guy for you to network with. I'm excited to say our 5-year, I was saying 4-year last year, now I'm saying 5-year, no inspection carrier, Jerome Jones is now in the house. Less than 10% of total loads. Okay. See, this is why I love
this. This is why we network right here. Look
at
this
what a great network.
Hell yeah.
We're done networking today, folks. This is what we do.
Read the comments, man.
Read the comments. I love it. I think the one thing that I think is really important, and I want to go back up. Can you scroll back up in the comments? Who said this? Keep going. Jens, there was somebody that said it. Yensley, maybe it was Yensley. Go back down. Am I saying her name, Yensley? Connecting about, teach, learn, create meaningful impact. I think what really is important in networking, it's not a one-time thing. You know what I mean? This is no different than a sales call. I think what's important is that you've got to give. It's a two-way road. You're trying to help each other out. You're trying to understand each other. But if you don't follow up with your network, it's just not gonna follow through. And that one-time interaction, yes, you might gain something. You might get a strategy that you can put into place. But boy, it's nice to check in with people.
Yeah, and that's the type of relationships and networks I love is, just chatting here and there. Maybe you talk 4 times a year.
Yeah.
But a lot can happen in a year, and maybe you can learn from that person because they've gone through some things as well. But there's one thing that maybe we don't talk about enough is action. You know, you're talking with your people that you're networking, and maybe you're getting some tips and maybe some advice, but are you putting that into action?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy that just reads the books versus actually taking the book and saying,
Right.
hey, I'm going to try this today.
Right.
That's what we're talking about here.
Right.
We're talking about what you just took into place and putting it into action and helping somebody else out or helping yourself out.
Right.
You know, that's what it's all about when it comes to networking.
Yeah.
I think that this year for eCarrier Check, you know, our network is obviously our show. We enjoy talking to all of you. We enjoy trying to add value. T. Harris, you guys upset with me? No, absolutely not.
Nope.
We love you. We have been wildly busy
It has,
with one-on-ones, just trying to help people.
Yeah.
Trying to help people with their goals and
Oh,
things like that.
gosh.
So
Yeah.
we have missed some phone calls. Don't mind us. But no, we're definitely not upset with anybody. Tom Thomas, welcome. Jerome. Man, I love that. So I do think something that was interesting when I was writing our goals and our thoughts. Okay, well, who are we going to network this year in order to bring them on the show so that we can add more value to you guys, but also for us. You know, we like to expose ourselves to new things.
Yeah. You know, one thing that comes to mind is DIY. You know, we were creeping on his YouTube for a while. We're like, man, this guy brings a lot of value. And a lot of people, you know, gravitate towards him because of that. You know, he's a great person, really easy to talk to.
Oh.
And we reached out and we had networked with him.
Yeah.
And then look where we're at, right?
Yeah.
He has been a blessing to us.
Oh, yeah.
The
Big
power of
comments, yeah.
networking is just amazing. Picking up my second load today from my nearest direct customer. Hell yeah.
That's sick.
I love
I
that.
love that. Congrats. I love that. You guys are friggin'. I love that. I love hearing people get. Have you picked up any hazmat loads? You get your hazmat cert, and then you don't friggin'. you don't get any haz loads. What the heck?
Yeah.
Or even how are you returning? Are you returning at a higher level to get more freight from him? You know, are you returning back with at least a hazmat or something like that? Definitely be interesting to hear how that's going.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely am excited for this year. I think that we've got a lot of people to network with.
Yeah.
You know, you can always find us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Words are meaningless without action. Everything in logistics is about execution, change, and adaptability, which enable us one to move forward. If you say what you do what you say. It's all about continuous improvement. Become a sponge. and absorb.
Yes. Well said, Jeff. Yeah, I can't pull up Jeff's comment,
I know.
but go to the comments, check it out. Be a sponge.
I'll see you guys at the top of this year. Exactly. Definitely, if you haven't taken a moment to write down your goals for the year, include networking in one of those topics.
Yeah.
Because I think it's important that you go, what relationships am I going to grow this year in order to grow my business, grow myself, grow, you know, the people around me. You know what I mean? So
You guys should be streaming this to all the 22-year-olds on LinkedIn. They may never know what actual networking is.
I'll start teaching a class. We'll
Just
be
networking
fine.
class.
You guys have been a key part of this community. You need to give yourselves way more credit. You bring enormous value. Come on, Michael. There's room for more. All right. I love it. I love it.
I love you guys. You guys are
So
awesome.
I've loved today. It's been wildly good. There's 19 people on. Hopefully you guys have wrote down your goals. Hopefully you've thought about adding networking or relationships to those goals.
Yep.
We'll obviously back Friday and bring you guys some more Wednesdays and Fridays at 11 Eastern as we continue to start the year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's get things
Yeah.
moving a little bit.
Hit us up
So,
to network. If you guys have already networked with us, but maybe want some more people to network with,
Yep.
we have a book full of people we can hook you up with and just chat with and
Yeah.
learn from. So don't be afraid to reach out to us. Give us a call. We'd love to help you. You know, just kind of grow as a person and your business, obviously.
Exactly.
So you guys, we'll see you Friday. Make sure to like and subscribe. And reach out to us if you would like to see some different content. We're open to it. We'd love to hear more back from you. Same goal as every year, no one to cash out. I appreciate that, Tire Killer. Sounds like me at the casino.
Oh
Know
my
when to
gosh.
leave, bro.
I love it. Morning, fellas. Keith, what's going on?
What's up,
Get your
Keith?
Network Attitude. Keith, this guy and I are talking this week. I'm excited about that.
I love that.
Hired Attitude. You guys got to introduce Nick. Can't tell you how
Yeah.
much changed my life. Exactly.
Fucking, there's
I
some
love it.
wonderful people I didn't
I
even drop
love
that
it.
for there.
Exactly.
But all right, guys, we'll see you Friday.